think about everything we're doing in fraud and fraud monitoring, all of that is AI enabled. And it's allowed us to protect the ecosystem in ways that we wouldn't have been able to imagine just a few years ago. So I fast forward the clock and what I think is going to happen. I see a few areas that are going to be, I think, incredibly exciting. And then if I think about all the things that are happening on the back office, a lot of that is in a B2B context, but still AI can help transform that in a way that's going to be really material. And then I'll maybe end on fraud. Well, I started there, and that's where we've seen a lot of advancements over the last decade. Gen AI is a new technique and feature that helps us continue to improve the fraud models. Fraudsters continue to work and find new ways to scam people. They're working day in and night. They have a great work ethic, ironically. But we have the ability to stay in front of them and continue to advance, and I think we're going to continue to see fraud as one of the primary use cases of AI going forward. When it comes to the infrastructure that we need, we think about it in a few ways. A lot of what we do happens in real time, right? We have to be able to provide advice and information in a transaction through the flow. We have a few milliseconds to do that. So what that means is we need infrastructure not only that is powerful, but that has the right latency for us. And the advancements that we've seen are really valuable, so we're able to enable new solutions and Gen AI solutions to happen at the speed and the care we need. The second thing we have is we have a lot of information. We have 143 billion transactions we see a year. The computational power to go through that, to provide analytics on the back of that is critical. But we're trying to balance. What do we do in batch? What do we do in real time? What do we do on cloud? What do we do on premise? And we're trying to optimize the infrastructure that we have for that, so we balance the cost, the energy consumption, as well as the speed and latency. And for us, it's trying to understand, what do we need for training? What do we need for inference? And for inference, where can we do that in the stack so we can optimize and manage this process? But underneath all this, it's become a lot more doable because the speed, the quality, and the power of the infrastructure continues to advance at such a rapid clip, and will continue to advance at such a rapid clip, that we're able to embed a lot more fraud solutions, a lot more intelligence, a lot more quickly, and with more power than we have been ever before. Where people are getting value out of it today is really around making their companies more efficient. A lot of the use cases are what people consider quote unquote non-sexy things, but it is what I was talking about in the efficiency bucket, is how do I make my how do I take steps out of the life of my sales team and make it easier for them to come up to speed, to enter information in? How do I get them to spend more time with their customers? How do I make life better for my engineers so they can spend more time on the coding they want to do? How do I make my life better for all my people so that they can spend time doing the things that they want to do and that are important in their job, and take away the friction on the outside? Manual tasks with unstructured data that we can automate much more efficiently than ever been able to before. That's the value today. Let's step forward. For us, I think there are a few things in the near term, what I talked about a little bit earlier around how do we continue to improve the fraud models, how do we make life more seamless with the agentic frameworks, and how do we reduce friction in the ecosystem. The thing that I'm really excited about ultimately, it's an AI story, but it's also a data story. I think as you look at where the world comes together through what we see with open banking, what we see with consented data, that we're going to have a much more powerful data network as society, where we can use information and request information, provide information in a safe and secure way with consent around it. So you as an individual consumer can enable your data to be used for a variety of use cases and get that personalization that we were talking about on the top of it in a way that benefits you as a consumer with the protection that you want. And it's organizations like Mastercard and others that I think can provide that trusted data infrastructure network to enable these use cases to come to life. But I think it's this confluence of consent, of open banking, of data, of analytics, of AI that's going to enable that vision, which has had some promise for a while, and I think will really come to the fore over the next several years.